At the wedding party, I was cut from the guest list. I went on vacation. When the wedding fell apart, my whole family frantically tried to reach me. But by then, I'd already learned the truth about who they really were. Let me take you back to where it all started, the moment I opened an envelope that would change everything. The invitation is beautiful. Cream cardstock with gold embossing. My sister Megan's wedding. August 14th at Thornbury Manor, one of those stupidly expensive venues in the Cotswolds that costs about £80,000 to book. I'm genuinely happy for her as I slide my finger under the seal. 26 years old, marrying Ryan, a guy from old money whose family tree probably has actual nobility in it somewhere. I'm her older sister, 29, single after a brutal breakup 6 months ago. Recently made redundant from my marketing job, living in a cramped flat in Hackney on my savings. But still, I'm her sister. I've been there for every boyfriend, every breakup, every crisis. Naturally, I assume I'll be maid of honor. Except there's a note paper clipped to the invitation. Small, handwritten in Megan's perfect cursive. Hey Jess, we need to talk. Call me. My stomach drops before I even know why. I call her. She answers on the second ring, and her voice is different. Cold. Like I'm a telemarketer instead of her sister. So about the wedding, she starts, no preamble. The wedding party is full. And actually, we've had to cut down the guest list. Ryan's family is paying for everything, and they have opinions. Okay, I say slowly. What does that mean? It means you didn't make the final cut. The words don't compute at first. You're uninviting me from your wedding? It's nothing personal, Jess. That cold voice again. Ryan's parents don't want negative energy at the wedding. And honestly, you've been kind of a downer lately. Your job situation, your breakup, it's just not the vibe we're going for. I can't breathe. Mom and Dad are okay with this. They understand it's Ryan's family's decision. We're trying to keep things positive, you know. Focus on the celebration. I'm standing in my kitchen, holding the invitation, trying to process that my entire family has agreed I'm too much of a failure to attend my own sister's wedding. Jess, are you still there? Yeah, I manage. I'm here. Great. So we're good then. We're not good. We're so far from good. But what am I supposed to say? Fight for an invitation to a wedding where I'm clearly not wanted? Sure, I hear myself say. We're good. The call ends. I sit down at my kitchen table and stare at the invitation for a long time. 29 years old. Unemployed. Single. Uninvited for my own sister's wedding because I'm negative energy. Then I look at my laptop. At my bank account. At the £5,000 I've been carefully preserving from my redundancy package. Living off it like it's gold because I don't know when I'll find another job. And I make a decision. If I'm not welcome at the wedding, I'm going on the holiday of a lifetime. Alone. No family drama. No feeling like the pathetic older sister watching from the sidelines. Just me on a beach, as far from the Cotswolds as I can possibly get. I book a 3-week trip to Bali, deliberately scheduled to overlap with the wedding. Half my savings gone in one click, but it feels worth it. And I turn off my phone notifications for everyone except emergencies. If they don't want me there, they won't have me at all. I arrive in Bali a week before the wedding. The villa I've booked in Ubud is pure magic. Infinity pool overlooking rice terraces. King-size bed with mosquito netting, the kind of place I'd only ever seen on Instagram. It costs £1,500 for 2 weeks. Money I absolutely shouldn't be spending. But the moment I step onto the terrace and see the sunrise over the jungle, I know it's worth every penny. For the first time in months, I can breathe. No job applications to send. No family obligations. No Megan's wedding to worry about. Just me, a good book, and the kind of silence that only comes when you're thousands of miles from everyone who's ever disappointed you. I make friends quickly. That's the thing about solo travel. Everyone's looking for connection. There's Kate, an Australian woman in her 40s recovering from a divorce. Marcus, an American who quit his finance job to find himself and is surprisingly self-aware about how cliché that sounds. And Tom and Priya, a British couple on their honeymoon who ironically give me hope that good marriages do exist. We spend days exploring temples, nights eating at warungs, talking about life and dreams, and all the things you can talk about with strangers because they don't know enough to judge you. But the guilt gnaws at me. especially as the wedding date approaches. I'm missing my sister's wedding. Even though she uninvited me, there's this voice in my head, Mum's voice, probably, telling me I should have fought harder. That I'm being petty. That family is family, and you don't just run away. On what would have been the wedding day, I turn on my phone for the first time in a week. Just to check in. To send a congratulations message to Megan, prove I'm the bigger person. Instead, I see 127 missed calls. 63 from Mum. 41 from Dad. 23 from my brother. 0 from Megan. And 89 text messages, increasingly frantic. The first few are typical. Jess, where are you? Why aren't you answering? This isn't funny. But then they get desperate. Jess, we need you. Emergency. Call immediately. The wedding is off. Megan needs you. Please call. Dad's in hospital. Heart attack. Come home now. My hands are shaking so badly I dropped the phone. Dad's in hospital. Heart attack. And I'm on the other side of the world, unreachable, because I was too busy feeling sorry for myself to stay connected. I try calling back. Mum, Dad, my brother. No one answers. They're probably at the hospital. I check flights. The earliest I can get back to London is 2 days away, connecting through Singapore, and it'll cost £2,000 I don't have. I book it anyway. My credit card will just have to cope. I'm frantically packing when my phone rings again. Unknown number. UK area code. Hello. Thank God you answered. The voice is clipped, posh. Female. This is Victoria Montgomery. Ryan's mother. Ryan's mother. The woman who supposedly deemed me too negative for the wedding. We've been trying to reach you for 2 days, she continues without waiting for my response. Your absence has caused considerable damage to this family. My absence. My voice is shaking. You had me uninvited from the wedding. You told Megan I was negative energy. There's a pause. Then, I never said that. What do you mean you never said that? I'm gripping the phone, so hard my knuckles are white. Megan specifically told me Ryan's parents didn't want me at the wedding. That I was too much of a downer. I don't know what your sister told you, Victoria says, and there's something in her tone that makes me believe her, but I specifically asked Megan where you were at the rehearsal dinner. When she said you weren't coming, I assumed you'd declined the invitation. It wasn't until later that I learned you'd been deliberately excluded. My head is spinning. So you didn't cut me from the guest list? Why would I? You're Megan's sister. Family matters, regardless of what Ryan's family thinks of. She stops herself. That's not the point. The point is what happened at the wedding. Or rather, what didn't happen. I sit down on the bed, my packed suitcase forgotten. What are you talking about? Victoria takes a breath, and I can hear the strain in her voice. Ryan called off the wedding an hour before the ceremony. In front of 200 guests. He said he couldn't marry someone who would cut their own sister out of their life over petty jealousy. The room tilts sideways. What? Ryan's younger brother Tom confided something to him the night before the wedding. Tom has autism, high functioning, but he struggles with social cues. He'd overheard Megan talking to your mother about you. About why you weren't invited. Victoria's voice catches, like she's struggling with what comes next. Megan told your mother that she wanted you excluded because Ryan had mentioned you were attractive and intelligent. She was worried you'd upstage her at her own wedding. The words hit like a physical blow. That's insane. Ryan was disgusted. Victoria continues. He said he couldn't trust someone that insecure. That manipulative. If Megan could do that to you, she'd eventually do it to him. So he called it off. In front of everyone. I can picture it. Megan in her wedding dress. 200 guests waiting. And Ryan, standing there, saying he can't go through with it. Megan's devastated, Victoria says. Your parents are horrified. And your father had a stress-induced panic attack that the hospital is calling a mild heart attack. Not life-threatening, but serious. And this is my fault, how? My voice is shaking with anger now. Because if you'd been here, if you'd fought for your place at that wedding, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Your absence made Megan's jealousy obvious. If you'd just shown up, played your part. Played my part. I'm standing now, pacing. I was uninvited. I didn't choose to be absent. Do you have proof? Victoria asks. A text. An email. I freeze. Because I don't. The invitation was posted. The uninvitation was a phone call. There's no paper trail. It was verbal, I say slowly. Then as far as your family is concerned, you declined. Because that's what Megan told them. She said you were too jealous to be happy for her. That you said you were too good for the wedding. I can't breathe. My entire family thinks I abandoned them. That I'm the villain in this story. Why are you telling me this? Victoria's quiet for a moment. Because Tom is very upset. He blames himself for ruining the wedding. But I don't want my son marrying someone like your sister. And I don't want you being blamed for telling a truth you didn't even know. She pauses. But I need to warn you, your family isn't going to believe you over Megan. She's been the golden child her whole life, hasn't she? And you're the responsible one who's supposed to support her no matter what. It's so accurate it hurts. What should I do? Come home, Victoria says. Face them. But bring proof. And be prepared for them to choose Megan anyway. After she hangs up, I sit in silence for a long time. Then I start going through my phone. Looking for anything. Any text, any email, any evidence that I was uninvited and didn't just decline. And I find something. A voicemail from 3 weeks ago. One I'd forgotten about in the chaos of booking Bali. I press play. Megan's voice fills the room. Hey Jess, it's me. Just so we're on the same page, you're not invited to the wedding anymore. Ryan's parents' decision, not mine. Don't make this difficult, okay? Thanks. I have proof. But as my plane lands in London 2 days later, I realize Victoria was right. This is going to be so much worse than I imagined. The flight back is a blur of anxiety and exhaustion. I land at Heathrow, collect my bag, and take the tube to my parents' house in Surrey. It's Saturday afternoon. The wedding would have been last weekend. Dad's home from the hospital by now. Victoria said it wasn't life-threatening. But what am I walking into? I arrive at the house I grew up in, a 4-bedroom semi that my parents bought in the 90s when Surrey was still affordable. The garden is immaculate as always. Mum's roses are in bloom. Everything looks normal from the outside. I ring the doorbell instead of using my key. Somehow that feels more appropriate. Mum answers. And the look on her face, pure, undiluted fury, tells me everything I need to know about how this is going to go. How dare you show your face here after what you've done? Mum, I need to explain. You ruined your sister's wedding. She's screaming now, something I've rarely seen. You were so jealous, so bitter about your own failed life, that you couldn't stand to see Megan happy. And now your father is recovering from a heart attack because of the stress you caused. Dad appears behind her. He looks frail. Old. I've never thought of my father as old before, but right now he looks ancient. Dad! Don't, he says weakly. Don't make excuses, Jessica. Megan showed us the text you sent. The horrible things you said about Ryan, about the wedding being a spectacle for shallow people. I never sent any texts. My voice is rising. I was uninvited from the wedding. Megan lied to you. Don't lie to us, Mum says coldly. We have proof. She pulls out her phone, shows me a screenshot. A text conversation, apparently from my number to Megan. Your wedding is going to be a joke. Ryan's family is paying for you like your property. You're marrying for money because you have nothing else to offer. I stare at it. I never sent that. That's fabricated. Or you deleted the original, and now you're trying to cover your tracks, Mum says. That's when I pull out my phone. I have proof. A voicemail. From Megan. Listen. I play it. Megan's voice, crystal clear. Just so we're on the same page, you're not invited to the wedding anymore. Ryan's parents' decision. Don't make this difficult. Silence. Mum and Dad exchange a look. That doesn't prove anything, Mum says finally. Maybe she uninvited you because of the texts. What texts? I never sent any texts. But I can see it in their faces. They don't want to believe me. It's easier to believe Megan. To make me the villain. That's when I hear footsteps on the stairs. Megan appears. Eyes red from crying. Face puffy. Hair unwashed. She looks broken. Jess, she says, voice small. Why are you doing this? I just wanted a beautiful wedding, and you couldn't let me have that. And in that moment, I see it clearly. She's going to play the victim. She's going to cry and make excuses. And my parents are going to believe her because that's what they've always done. You uninvited me, I say, voice shaking. You told Ryan's brother I was competition. That's why he called off the wedding. Tom misunderstood. Megan says quickly. Too quickly. He's autistic. He misinterprets social situations. I was just telling Mum I was worried people would compare us. I wanted to protect you. It's such a smooth lie. So believable. I have a witness, I say. Someone who heard everything. I call Victoria. She answers immediately, already knowing what I need. I'm putting you on speaker, I say. Tell them what you told me. Victoria does. Explains what Tom overheard. But when she offers to have Tom give a statement, something happens that I didn't expect. I recorded it, Tom says when he comes on the line. I record a lot of conversations because I have trouble remembering details. I have audio of Megan telling your mother that she wished Jess would disappear because Ryan compared them. Play it, I say. Tom does. And Megan's voice, clear, venomous, nothing like the broken girl standing in front of me, fills the hallway. I wish Jess would just disappear. Every time Ryan mentions her, your sister seems smart. Jess has a good head on her shoulders. I want to scream. Why does he notice her at all? She's supposed to be the failure, the unemployed loser. But somehow she makes it look noble, like she's finding herself, instead of just giving up. Mum's voice. Sweetheart, she's your sister. People will ask where she is. Then we'll say she declined. That she was too jealous to be happy for me. Everyone will believe it. She's been a mess for months. It's the perfect excuse. The recording ends. The silence is deafening. I look at my parents. Waiting. Mum's face is white. Dad's sitting down now, hand over his heart. Megan's crying, but these are different tears. Real panic, not manipulation. I didn't mean it like that, she says desperately. I was venting. I was stressed. You fabricated text messages, I say, voice eerily calm. You told the family I declined. You made them think I abandoned Dad when he had a heart attack. You destroyed my reputation with my own parents to cover up your jealousy. I was scared. Megan screams. Scared that Ryan would realize you're better than me. Smarter, kinder, more. She stops. But the damage is done. I never wanted to compete with you, I say quietly. I just wanted to be your sister. I look at my parents. Are you going to say anything? Dad speaks first. Megan, how could you do this? Dad, please. You destroyed your sister's relationship with us. You caused your wedding to be called off. You caused my heart attack because I was so stressed about choosing between my daughters, and it was all based on lies. He's crying. I've never seen my father cry. Mum is processing. I can see her brain working, trying to reconcile the golden child she's always protected with this person who's capable of such calculated cruelty. I think we all need space, Mum says finally. Megan, you need to figure out who you are. Jess, you need to decide if you can forgive us. Forgive you. My voice rises. You chose Megan's lies over my truth without even questioning it. You called me a narcissist. You made me think Dad's heart attack was my fault. I grab my bag. I'm done. I'm done being the responsible one who's supposed to just take it. You chose Megan. You can keep her. I'm at the door when Mum calls out. Jess, wait. There's something else you need to know. About why Megan was always the favorite. I stop but don't turn around. Megan was a miracle baby, Mum says, voice thick with tears. I had 3 miscarriages between you and her. When she was born, there were complications. I was told she might not survive. The confession hangs in the air. And when she did survive, I made a promise. That I'd protect her. Always make her feel special. Never let her feel unwanted. I finally turn. So you made me feel unwanted instead. No, we made her feel extra loved. And somehow that became imbalanced. That's not good enough, I say. We didn't realize isn't an excuse when I've been telling you for years that Megan gets preferential treatment. Dad speaks up. What can we do to fix this? Nothing right now, I say honestly. Right now I need space. To figure out who I am without being Megan's sister, or the responsible daughter. I look at Megan. And you need therapy. Real therapy. Because the person you've become is someone I don't recognize. She nods, crying. I'm sorry. You're sorry you got caught, I correct. There's a difference. I walk out, get in my rental car, drive away from the house I grew up in. And for the first time in my life, I feel free. 3 months later, I'm back in Bali. Not hiding this time. Building. I've started a digital marketing consulting business, working with resorts and tourism companies. Turns out all those years of corporate marketing experience weren't wasted after all. I'm making decent money. Not London's salary, but enough to live comfortably in a place that makes me happy. Kate from my first trip is now my business partner. Marcus invested £10,000 in our startup. Tom and Priya send care packages and voice notes from London, still cheering me on. And my family? Dad calls once a week. We're rebuilding. Slowly. He's in therapy now, dealing with a heart attack scare forced him to confront decades of avoiding conflict. Mum sends emails. Surface level at first, but getting deeper. She's trying. I can see that. Megan sent one text. I'm in therapy. I'm sorry. I hope one day you can forgive me. I haven't responded. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Ryan's mother Victoria sends Christmas cards. She and Tom have become unlikely friends with me, bonding over that chaotic summer. I'm standing on my villa's terrace, watching the sunset, when my phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Heard about what you're building. Impressive. If you ever need connections in the hospitality industry, let me know. You deserve success. Ryan. I smile. Because Ryan, the man whose cancelled weddings set all this in motion, has spent the past 3 months quietly recommending my services to his family's hotel contacts. I don't respond immediately. Instead, I take a photo of the sunset and post it with a caption. They called me negative energy and cut me from the guest list. I left, and when everything fell apart, I realized I was never the problem. I was just the scapegoat, and scapegoats don't have to stay in the room. The comments flood in. From Kate, from Marcus, from people I've met on this journey, and eventually, after a long pause, from Dad. Proud of you, Jessica. Always have been. Just took me too long to say it. Not from Mum yet. Not from Megan. But that's okay. Because I've learned something crucial. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up. Who believes you. Who doesn't ask you to be smaller to make others comfortable. And sometimes, the family you choose is better than the family you're given. I'm happy. Genuinely happy. Not because my family imploded, but because I learned that my worth isn't determined by whether they see it. I was always enough. I just needed to believe it myself.